Welcome to another Field of Glory 2 battle. This is part of the Chaos Tourney, hosted by Carvon on the Silurian forums, and actually this match is against Carvon, who's a fine player. He's certainly beaten me before. So the Chaos Tourney is potluck armies with geography and timeline filters turned off. I have rolled Byzantine 904 versus Carvon's Bosporan 84 BC. So let's see what Carvon can bring to the field first. Right, so the Bosporan list, good cavalry line, armored, and a particular favorite of mine, noble lancers, 48 point superior lancers. Some non-light horse archers. Its light line is good in terms of numbers of 5 units, but nomad light horse archers, you pay 8 points for swordsmen, which it's not bad, but I'd say it's situational. For light foot, again, good options, up to 11 Lightfoot. Quite a few. He could spam them if he wanted to. Medium foot is irregulars and Thuriophoroi and Thracians, particularly against some of my more armored troops that could have its uses. And heavy foot is all average impact foot, which if you were playing, say, in classical digital league, this wouldn't be very impressive, but this Byzantine list's melee infantry are Scutatoi, who are defensive spearmen. So if they drop cohesion, they're going to get torn to shreds by impact foot. My skirmishing options are also rather poor, so I'm going to have to max on that, basically. And unfortunately, this is before the Byzantine army fields Scutatoi and archers. So we'll have to make do with what we have got. On the bright side, the thematic lancers and archers do have their 50% bow. I also want to bring along some more nomad horse archers. So the thematic lancers and archers are above average and 54 points, so they can't quite stand up to the noble lancers on impact, but in melee they should be fine. And against the armored lot they'll be somewhat disadvantaged, but it's not terrible. The main thing I have to fear, I think, is his lights, and because of that we'll bring both units of our own nomad. In fact, maybe I'll try to narrow the battlefield here. Our own nomad light horse archers. Flankers are good, but I'm not going to pay 48 points for light units. I'm just not going to do it. I will pay 24 points a pop for raw Scutatoi, though. I think. Maybe that's a bad idea against impact foot, because it'll fail cohesion. Alright, we won't do that. Instead, we will invest in more cavalry. Question being, do I want mounted archers that can evade or lancers that can sort of control lock? Probably more lancers. It's too bad I have no medium infantry available. I will grab this Clivanophoroi unit. They're expensive, but they can destroy anything they run into. And we'll figure out how we want to maneuver our infantry. I might want to weight my cavalry on this wing so that when it comes down to it, I can push a little bit more aggressively and get out of this forest, because I don't have medium foot. So we're going to try to push, and then we'll either bring the infantry up or leave them in reserve, depending on what he's brought to the field. And we'll add one general on this wing. How about And there we go. Alright, deployment. Let's see what he brings to the field. Some cavalry, some lights, and a bunch of troops hidden somewhere. But where? Guess we'll have to slowly find out. In the meantime, 2 Nomad Light Horse Archers. Very good. Let's get our own Nomad Light Horse Archers to fight them. We'll have our slingers ready to intervene. Give them a little bit of support. Stay here and we will advance. Here. That's it for now. Next turn. Hello. We will now engage in some light skirmishing. Might as well take out these 2 units as rapidly as we can. And where could he have put all his men? The deployment zone was not that wide. Don't really understand. Are they all hiding in here? It's not sure what to do. I don't see anything to attack other than these 4 units, which, you know, it's not worth moving the entire army up for that. Well, let's take out these light cavalry, then we can send scouts forward to figure out what's happening. Next turn. Charge. Good. Then we'll loop behind, and we'll just shoot this unit to death. Next turn they'll be dead. They'll be dead, and we can go scout. In the meantime, we can stop Carbon scouts from seeing what they should not see. Alright, next turn. I do wish I knew where his army was. Right, flank charge. And pile on. There we go, 3% down, then in a turn or 2 our lights can start checking this out. In the meantime, I suppose I'll inch forward a couple of squares. We'll shuffle about so that next turn the master archers can end up in this built-up area. Not that I'm expecting, contact anytime soon, but can't hurt to be prepared. Okay, onward. Next turn. Well, that could get annoying. The hell with it. Send in some light infantry and go check things out. Medium foot to support. It's not really giving me much to fight here. I guess we could just push here. I would like to know how many men are in each sector and then choose one and just attack it and ignore the other one, rather than split my army to potentially have it be outnumbered. Right, onward. Next turn. All the way back there. I don't know if we can even reach that in time to fight. And we'll keep edging towards this forest. It'll take a couple more turns, so we'll start pushing in that direction out of impatience, if nothing else. There we go. Hopefully nothing nasty is waiting in there while we push this way, but I don't know that we can fight and win a battle in that many turns if most of his army is hiding in the forest. We have cavalry and heavies. Our only mediums are massed archers, which aren't going to make it against even irregular foot. Next turn. Yeah, that's annoying, but not a huge deal. Anyone here? Of course. See, this is why we didn't just go charging ahead here. Turn you around. You can rush into the rough. And otherwise, we will need to wait to do anything until we figure out what exactly is in here. So curious about what exactly is in there. That at least we can do something about. So we'll keep pushing these archers toward this wood to see what's in there. But otherwise, I think we can afford to sit around and wait a little bit. Next turn, continue our little scouting mission here. Turns left. There we go, of course. Everybody's here to party. Yep, that's fine. Send the cavalry wing over. It's a very annoying way to have to fight a battle. I do very much prefer a nice, shake hands in the middle and then murder each other in the open sort of affair. So yes, we've split our army. It's unfortunate, but with this sort of thing going on, we don't have much of a choice. In fact, we might need these troops to wheel around if it gets too messy here. Yeah, and this is why I didn't want to commit to an assault on a single front, because I knew something like this was going to happen. What I think is going to happen here is that we're going to slug it out here, hold back here, and we're going to run out of time no matter who wins this skirmish. Next turn. I guess we're about to find out just how many more units are hiding here. Yep, that's not surprising. So he saw me closing in with multiple missile units and bugged out. So let's get to work on these lancers. Question is, should these thematic lancers push through the forest, risking fire from whatever's in there, or go this way? I think they should remain under cover. And I wouldn't mind sending some infantry support as well. More lights to that combat, and why not one more Scutatoi? Good. In the meantime, we will form up for battle but not advance on the left. The next clump to explore is going to be this village and forest. So we hold, we push, and see what we can do in 14 turns. Next turn. That's too bad. Right. Let's just, take care of that. Give them a shove and see where we end up. That's not as bad as it looks, necessarily. Now, I don't want to get charged off the board, and I don't want to get charged into these lights either. Speaking of these lights, we need to get ready for them. I was hoping to pursue through, but it was not to be. Very well. Exactly the sort of battle I don't want to be fighting. So we know that's empty. What about this? This is empty too. I might risk a push forward to engage the cavalry. We'll see. So I had a audio glitch along with missing a turn later, missing recording a turn later on. So sorry about all that. But it's a pretty straightforward turn, if I recall correctly. Basically, I've managed to get myself stuck up against this forest, and now he's making me pay for it. Like so. And it's just full of irregular foot and light infantry. So, yeah, that engagement's going badly enough that I decide, if the rest of his army isn't moving, then we have to go rescue our right wing. Yes, the staring contest isn't really doing anything for me. Nice disruption on a half arc with bow there. half arc with half bow. And yes, all his light horse are lurking behind me. How unpleasant. Next turn. Oh, maybe we will have a battle. Wasn't sure if he would just stay in there and let his smaller force get wiped out or not. Do I even bother shooting back here? Think about that. In the meantime, tempted to see what's exactly is in here. No, that's a waste. Let's see if we can't get the edge in skirmishing still. Okay, I think the situation is contained. So this lot can turn around to fight now. So that's going to get messy with so many lights running around. Our Scutatoi with all their armor is certainly going to be important. But by doing this, we were successfully able to get them to come out, so maybe we can fight. And hopefully clean this up quickly. There is going to be a certain amount of light harassment that remains. I don't know if I can really wipe this out. If there's more than one unit of irregulars, it would be kind of foolish to turn this unit around, but I think I'm going to turn it around. Next turn. I suppose I should have seen that coming. Okay. Firm, of course. Not quite catching them. See if we can frag them with this charge. No, do we break? Not quite. Get ready to turn around. This could be painful. No. Not quite. This is just obnoxious. I really hate this. I mean, I have only myself to blame for marching over here instead of just shifting everyone to one wing, but I am annoyed. Good. Well, worst case scenario, if this goes badly, we could cut our losses and try to just pull out. Because these skirmishers and irregulars can't really fight us effectively in the open, at least. Not low on ammo yet, so we might suffer disruption on the archers. Prevent a charge. Okay, what about this? Well, do need to be prepared for disruptions, but the Scutatoi should give our line some solidity, at least. But yeah, I really do not like this situation at all. My army is not well suited for this kind of fighting. Next turn. Alright then. Well, we can only hope this break doesn't inflict too much panic on our army. I think he's trying to get me to push his lights. Well, this is all pretty ugly. I'm gonna move the Scutatoi here just to soak up some missile fire. You run away. These will prepare to flank charge the noble lancers that have continued to hold. See if we can't find a way out of this horrible situation we're in. Right, and then there is this. What are we to do? I want to frag this unit, then charge it with our infantry. Not quite. This is not really a situation I wanted to be in. Yeah, I can easily keep pulling these back and use whatever infantry support is in here to slow down a cavalry assault. Looks like a draw to me. Yeah, this kind of play annoys me, even though it's probably the right call on his part. It's just not fun to fight. But I guess the objective is never to make sure your opponent is having fun. Next turn. Oh, that's annoying. Well, some of that should be useful. For starters, get these to evade. And, you know, murder these assholes. Yeah. You certainly made me work for that. Yep, and murder them too. Thank you. Goodbye. And I've had it with this unit's rallying. Get to safety. And this unit will want to take cover, I think, from his more numerous light cavalry. Right. Run and run. In the meantime, let's see, who was in here? We never did see, did we? Turioforoy. Well, that's fine. I guess we'll just sit there with our one unit and stare at his two units and get to know each other. Try to rally up this disrupted unit. Do I charge? Is that stupid? That's probably stupid. Oh well. Let's just scatter them. Okay. And let's get in a staring contest here as well. Just lights. Okay. Can work with that. Hopefully we won't frag, but I want to get the flank charge if I can. If we do frag, we'll transfer the general out to preserve him. Okay, who's left? You two, they should stay in reserve, depending on which direction these units go. Next turn. Yeah, it's about time. It really is. Good. Good timing. Right, let's deal with this half of the battle first. Lock them in. Prevent the flank charge. And what? Flee into the forest. It's not a good way to take on these irregular foot. Probably the best call will be to find a way to withdraw. Fortunately, I don't think I can successfully get away from this unit here, and I don't really want to sacrifice my masked archers either. Well, maybe we will sacrifice them then. What I can do is attempt to move into a flanking position. In a couple of turns. Okay. It's an overcommitment of points, but is what it is. In the meantime, get our friends rushing over here. General up on this unit. Get the auto drop. Good. We catch them, it's an added bonus. Perfect. Now, of course, they're off the field. Let's see if we can catch this unit. That does not mean we haven't caught them. Push. Charge. Ah. Almost. Well, let's see where we end up then. Get out of the way. Oh, I was trying to undo with this unit, but I guess it's not happening now. Alright, well, we're committed then. Forward. To the next turn. Yeah, pulling those out is probably the right call. Yep. Kind of expected that to happen, unfortunately. Only got 5 turns left, so I think we'll still draw out, even though we do have a fairly nice lead going. Wonder if I have time to save my archers. Doesn't seem terribly likely. But these guys aren't going to get there in 5 turns, so they might as well try. Let's start shooting. That allows our Klivanophoroi to get into line. And what? Infantry to help with the zones of control. And thematic lancers and archers to start laying down some fire. Hello. Suppose I should have expected something like that. Get the scutatoi. Actually, see if we can catch these guys first. Right. Break them. Well, next turn. Great, the scutatoi will cover the flank against whatever's lurking over there. In the meantime, what's lurking in there? Thracians. These thematic lancers and archers are only above average, so they are at a disadvantage if charged by our noble lancers, but at this point, with 5 turns left, we're in a rush to attempt some kind of resolution, so we're just going to go with it. Where were we? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Next turn, with I believe 4 turns to go. We shoved our cavalry and heavy infantry based army into this forested area. That's actually not so bad, to be honest. Oh, that's awkward. For that reason. Means I still can't get these guys into action. Now, I know I'm not doing terribly, but I really just hate these sorts of battles. Hunting guys in trees and shit. I mean, it's a legitimate tactic. It's not like, you know, against the code of honor or anything. The code of honor is to win. It's just not something I enjoy dealing with. Protect the flank. Good. Gonna slam into this medium foot next turn. And reinforcements on the way. You know what? Let's take this opportunity to go around. So they'll break and run, and then we can push. Zone of control lock those lancers. I was hoping for disruption. Back towards the main battle. Wonderful. just get away from this forest. We have to stop trying to fight mediums in a forest with heavies and the like. Good. Here is a unit that can deal with the situation. Of course, now he'll probably just shift them into the wood right there. We can't do anything about that. Okay, so what's going on here? It's pretty ugly, but I knew it was going to be ugly, and it's no surprise there's more mediums and lights hiding in the woods. We might be able to pull off a win anyway, depending on how this impact goes and whether we can find a way to reach these regulars, but I'm not feeling too hopeful. Next turn. Hold firm. Good. Guess we'll probably lose that unit then. Well, well. What can we do now? It's getting a bit late, so we'll go for the charge, even though it's not an automatic drop. It's a waste, but nothing else to do with them. Yeah, this is still gonna draw out, it seems. What a shame. Probably disrupt due to all this light archer fire. Even more mediums, of course. Ah, what a frustrating end to a frustrating battle. I suppose what I could have done is just like sat here and waited to see if he came out, but I don't think he would have. I'll go into the reasoning behind this kind of play at the end of the match. Next turn. That move into the forest should keep them safe, so now we have nothing left to fight over there. Right, in that case, let's just give these a shove and see if we can catch them. This unit away from the wood line into open country. Too bad. Cover that flank and get ready to join the fun. You can just hold out a little bit longer. Well, out of a lack of anything better to do, Sunny, not really. Stay in the forest. Ugly. Not very conclusive. Next turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. So much for that flank attack. One turn left, so definitely a draw. But let's try to get some more damage in. Come on now. Held firm. Alright. What about you? Also held firm. General up and do your best now. Get in there. Probably break here. Do we hold firm? Yes. Okay. Well, we're in no danger of losing, so that's something. $146, we can probably... Well, let's get away from the forest. Alright, so we should have one more turn after this to put in some more hurt, and then it'll draw out. Next turn. Good. Okay, so this should be the last turn before the draw. So we'll charge in anyway. Right, held firm. Lock them in. Move just one square out of charge range so we can maybe rally up. Okay, and that should pretty much be the end of it. To the end, I believe. We have a draw. Okay, so obviously I was very frustrated while playing this. That doesn't necessarily mean that Carbon did anything wrong or dishonorable. Maybe it means the opposite. But basically, he had an army that could field much more light infantry than mine, much more medium infantry than mine, and a max of 7 lancers, I believe. And I could theoretically outnumber his cavalry, which I think I did in practice. And he also had impact foot available, which probably could trash my Scutatoi, but would have been rather vulnerable to my lancers. So deciding that fighting in the open field was not possible, he split his command into 2 forests, here and here. And having done so, he set it up so that if I tried to just attack, then he would swing in from behind. So I had to split my army in order to not have that happen, and then there were more forces in here than I thought. I had heavies pinned in against the forest because this Byzantine list has very little medium infantry. And I think I probably did not bring the very little that I had, expecting a battle in the open. So this turned into a huge mess. And then the confrontation here is going fairly well, actually. I think I would have won it with time, but I didn't have time because I had to spend so much marching back and forth and trying to make sure I wasn't exposing the rear of my army. As to all my complaining, Carbon's doing is playing the tournament meta. Basically, he figures he can't win this match, but he can win his other matches. So if he just draws here, that's the best call. So it's probably the right call what he did. What I will say for my defense for all my unseemly bitching is that I do play defensively quite often, and I do play for a draw sometimes in tournaments. I don't think I've ever hidden my entire army in a forest, which I hated, but I could take this lesson one of two ways. Either, how annoying, or, I should probably keep that in mind for when I'm playing for a draw. So it's probably not the nicest thing, but I think the lesson I'm going to take from this is, in this kind of matchup, if I feel that I cannot win in the open, and the forests are big enough to accommodate, I should probably just shove the entire army in a forest and chill. But that's tournament play. So well done to Carvon for scraping out a draw in a match like this. And till next time.